Hello, today we're going to read All the Mamas by Gandee Shough. Let's start. The story has no beginning. It has no end. It's just a slice of time. We'll start with now and end with then. We'll start with a girl named Madeline. This baby's name is Madeline. When she was born, the world was linked by webs and nets. Computers sent words around the world as fast as you could blink. And Madeline's mama was whirled into this net. She worked hard as this was facts, and that was saved. The keyboard clicked, the printer hummed. While Madeline slept, the work was done. When Madeline awoke, it was time for play. Her mama pressed save and quit, and pushed her chair away. She rushed to see her baby smile and hear her laugh out loud. Her mama called her Maddie. Maddie, Maddie, who loves this baby? Who loves this pretty baby? Her mama whispers, I do. And all the mamas whispered, we do too. Her mama laughed with her and played a peekaboo. She stroked her hair and washed her face and tickled little toes. And this I know for sure. Maddie's mama held her, kissed her, loved her, just as I love you. Now Maddie's mama's name is Jenny. When Jenny was a little girl, the world watched as astronauts in silver suits walked upon the moon. The step for mankind, that magic leap, was seen from there to here. The future seemed quite bright, and Jenny's mama nourished sweet promises of future thoughts. She taught, in school by day, at home at night. The family loved and learned. When the Lawrence spaceship made its slow descent, Jenny dozed before the TV screen. Jenny's mama gently stroked the sleepy girl and whispered soft and low, J Bear, wake up, we'll watch the landing on the moon. Her mama read to her of space and other fairy tales come true. She helped her with her math. She walked her to the school bus stop and waved as Jenny left. And this I know for sure. Jenny's mama held her, kissed her, loved her, just as I love you. Now Jenny's mama's name is Carol. When Carol was a little girl, the world was waging a terrible, cruel war. All wished to do their noble part and heed their country's call. So Carol's mama grew a garden on a wee small plot of land. She sowed the seeds and watered them, and then she pulled the weeds. When all was ripe, she picked the peas, the corn, and broccoli too. With all that work and all that care, the victory garden grew quite well. Since Carol was just a wee small thing, she tottered around the garden plot. She spilled the seeds and broke the strings, but Mama didn't scold. Instead, she called her to her side and spoke her special name. Squee, squee, come put some seeds into this hole. Corn and beans will sprout here soon. Her mama fed her sweet vegetables picked from that good-smelling earth. She kept her healthy, safe, and sound. She sheltered her from harm. And this I know for sure. Carol's mama held her, kissed her, loved her, just as I love you. Now Carol's mama's name is Catherine. When Catherine was a little girl, the world wondered at the first airplane flights. The fragile wings at Kitty Hawk flew low above the winter sands. Tom flew too as Catherine grew. In their cozy home, her mama sewed, her auntie cooked. They called her Kate. Kate, Kate, come see the beautiful dress I've sewn for you. Come scrape the bowl of creaky dough. Her mama and her auntie all wrapped her in a comfy quilt they made. They tucked her in her warm, soft bed. They whispered private bedtime prayers and set them up on angel wings. And this I know for sure. Kate's mama and her auntie all held her, kissed her, loved her just as I loved you. Now Kate's mama's name is Mabel. Her auntie's name is Alice. When the two were little girls, the world was changing rapidly. All through the wonders of the world were here. Steam engines moved the speeding trains. Machines could weave the wool. 5 older brothers talked about these things they learned at school. But Mabel was very little then, the youngest of the bunch. While her brothers were away at class, her mama taught her songs and such. She taught her riddles, some quite hard, and they were best of all. When family gathered round at supper time, the riddles would begin. All the boys tried to answer fast and first, but none could get it right. Then Mama pulled her near to her and whispered in her ear, "Mabel, Mabel, here's the clue," for her mama made quite sure that only Mabel knew. But later Mabel grew quite old and was a child again. She'd call into the night, "Mama, Mama, is that you? Come pick me up, come take me home. The night nurse told me so." And this I know for sure. Mabel's mama held her, kissed her, loved her just as I love you. Now Mabel's mama's name is Carrie. When Carrie was a young sweet lass, the states were split in two. Brothers fought and brothers died as others tried to mend the rift. Carrie tended rebel boys in war camps of the north. She brought them food and washed their bones. She nursed them back to health. In years before the Civil War, when she was but a baby, her mama cared for her. She cradled her in her tired arms and nursed till Carrie slept. She softly crooned a traveling song while the family westward crept. Carrie, Carrie, my little one, were on the mighty mist. Her mama kept her close and warm while on that drafty riverboard. And as the paddle wheel churched upstream and charged down the bend, she clutched her baby to her heart and fought the strong north wind. She wrapped her tightly to her chest and soothed her red, chapping skin. And this I know for sure, Carrie's mama held her, kissed her, loved her just as I love you. Now Carrie's mama's name is Mary. When Mary was a little girl, the world seemed very small. All neighbors, family, and their friends knew each other well. Each knew the farm down by the mill and the store beside the church. Each knew who married whom and when. Each knew when one was her. But Mary's world grew wider, still as Keith and kin moved on. The wagons filled with family things rolled down the dusty roads. Through dense dark woods and sunlight glens, the wagon train kept on. The travelers reached their newfound place and built the family home. Mary's mama worked quite hard to make the house a home. She fetched the wood and washed the clothes. She darned those smelly socks. She gathered eggs and plucked the hens. She made a shoe fly pie. Mary, Mary, come sit with me beside the fire. We'll spin the yarn and wind the skins. We'll save wool scraps and piece the quilt. Her mom raised her well. She fed her food and made her clothes. She taught her how to read. And this I know for sure. Mary's mama held her, kissed her, loved her, just as I love you. Now Mary's mama's name is Rachel. When Rachel was a little girl, the word liberty was often heard. When red-coat soldiers finally came, she watched her papa ride to war. "Rachel, Rachel, don't you cry," but Rachel's mama cried with her. And this I know for sure. Rachel's mama held her, kissed her, loved her, just as I love you. Now I don't know the name of Rachel's mama. The written words of marriage bonds are forever lost in time. The vows were said, but none now know when and where of it. But this I know for sure. Her mama held her, kissed her, loved her, just as I love you. The names of all the mamas past are now forgotten whispers in the wind. For sure when mama crossed the wide waters of the sea. For sure when mama worked within cold castle walls. For sure when mama walked through fields of wheat. For sure when Mama washed clothes wraps of wool. For sure when Mama wove slender reeds and willow twigs. For sure when Mama whistled low beside a glacier cliff. For sure when Mama wilted tools of bone. For sure when Mama watched through the treetop heights and hunt down on the plains. For sure all mamas rocked their young. They held them, kissed them, loved them just as I love you. The end. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye!